competition. It is Brazil against Kenya. And let's get back up to your commentary for this one.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, the teams have met on 3 previous occasions. They met, in fact, last time here in London 12 months ago when Brazil lost by 19-14. Just the one score. They only appeared on the circuit twice last year, and this time, well, Vancouver, Paris, and this is a third. But look, they're right down to the bare bones. There's some significant injuries for Brazil. They have the Sonsori brothers, the twins, in concert there. For Kenya, the top try scorer of all time, Injera, starts again, looking to add to his impressive record. But his brother Humphrey Kayenge will sit this one out as he was injured in the bowl quarter-final this morning. So it'll be Moises Duque to lead Brazil out on the right there. And for Kenya, it'll be Andrew Omondi. Joining me for this one is Bob Skinstad. It's been tough for Brazil again this weekend, but they're learning all the time. They have 3 months now to put things to right before the Olympic Games in their back garden.
Absolutely, when we watch these two teams here, and their stories are different right now, but they might not be in the future, because Kenya were also a marginalised rugby country in the world, and they had the chance to play sevens. They came through it. Now they've been winners on this series, and they have got fantastic superstars amongst them. Brazil are all hot today. They're down to 8 players, so they've got 1 reserve. So 7 guys are potentially going to be going through almost every single minute of this match. Duque is their spiritual leader, if you want. He's an absolute character on and off the field, and a wonderful contributor to the game of rugby union.
Referee for this match is Ben Kraus from South Africa. And just a word about Kenya here. While last month they were celebrating their first ever tournament win in Singapore, but such are the fortunes of sevens. You can find yourself in the lowly shield competition in the next tournament. So first possession then goes Brazil's way. They found it particularly difficult. Lost to New Zealand, Argentina, and a close call against Russia last evening. They lost to Canada first time out this morning, 19-7. They string some useful combinations and plays together. Sometimes their handling skills let them down.
Kenya just a little bit over-eager there, pushing the offside line. Duque, you can see him wanting to slow the game down slightly. It's a smart move for him to try and get up country, as it were, and spend some time in Kenya's half.
Yeah, good kick from the stand-in captain of Brazil. He's lost the services of his brother Lucas, who usually leads this Brazil side. Laurent Couhé. The scrum half. Brazil slow into the line out, and they cough up possession. Moved out quickly into the hands of Sami Oliek. The long striding Billy Odiambo finds good support just outside the 22 of Brazil. Collins Injera on to the captain Monde. Chance perhaps over on the narrow side here. In goes William Barker, the number 12. Big William Barker, very powerful player, and there's an example of the power, the determination as well for Kenya's opening try.
Well, they mean business, Kenya. They were disappointed with their first day's results, and they've been a bit better since then. Obviously, the wonderful milestone of Collins Injera scoring, and William Barker is following in his footsteps. He turns around and regathers here. Brazil really should have closed him down when he was facing away from their try line. They should have put the pressure on. It just opened a little window there.
Yeah, William Barker, well, he was very prominent under Mike Friday's reign as a coach of Kenya. Appeared in the Moscow World Cup Sevens of 2013, then went to seek his fame and fortune in France. But now he's back for the first time in the seven ranks.
Yeah, good to have him back. They've watered up. Have Kenya. not using as much of the field as we've seen them do in the past. They've got tremendous pace across the board, and they're playing very, very close quarters sevens rugby. I feel that might play a little bit into Brazil's hands, just at least keep them competitive.
And they've added that physicality to their play, have the Kenyans in recent times. When you look at them, they're big, powerful men from 1 to 12. Just a little mistake once again, and his possession back to Kenia. You think of Brazil as an emerging nation in rugby, but rugby apparently was first played in Brazil back around 1888, but because people were losing time and losing work as a consequence of injuries sustained, they moved to the other game, the round ball game, which has become known as the Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game in Brazil.
Fine, tackler.
Kenya.
Good effort at the tackle and the ruck there from Brazil, just slowing the Kenyan ball down a little bit. This is the physical side we were saying we'd see in this match. It's certainly a different tempo to what we've seen. Some of the clashes between Kenya and Fiji, for example, are 20, 25-point affairs per half, because it's about the individuals. This is almost like a mud wrestle, difficult to get out of the clutches of this Brazilian side, who are trying to keep it close.
Fine. Sit.
Yeah, well, remember 10, 12 years ago when Kenya were looking to make inroads into the international scene. Their breakthrough game was against Australia in Hong Kong in 2003. Those victories were very few and far between, but look at them now. Real contenders for championship wins.
No. It's a new ball. Open.
Collins and Jura throw into this line out. Brazil not competing, focusing and concentrating on the defensive duties. In goes Moises Duque. Dug out by Sami Oliek. Mbaka just brushes aside the weak tackling of the Brazilians and sets it up just inside the Brazilian half. Injera quickly again into the hands of Sami Oliek, a newcomer this season, an exciting prospect. Odiambo, Amonde rather, the captain, another player who has added a fair amount of bulk to his physical presence. Oh, lovely step from Sami Oliek, and away he goes. Oliek gets Kenya's second score. Made his overdue debut in Las Vegas back in February. His 9th try then in his sevens career. Just having a word perhaps from Collins Injera there.
Yeah, lovely chat there. He's the youngest member of the squad, and he's got a great chance to stake his claim and be a permanent member for a long, long time. Lovely, convincing outside break there from Oliek.
Yeah, he's quite a character, as Sami Oliek. He claims to know the true identity of Superman.
11.
So there he is, Sami Oliek, compared to a young Idris Elba. He's very proud of that fact, apparently. The fans in Kenya corner, greeting that second try from Sami Oliek. Thiago Evaristo. Placement is on for Brazil already. Now then, let's see what this guy can do. Daniel Sonseri scored 2 tries already in this tournament.
There. Over there.
Penalty to finish the half, so if Kenya want to score here, there we go, they'll tap it and take it. Brazil trying to close them down.
Felipe Silva just stepping out of that defensive line, blocking the path of the pass. Amonde. Got to bring him down early, and that's exactly what Felipe Sonseri did. Collins Injera, the speed of Collins Injera, taking him away from the Brazilian defence, and that's yet another try for the top try scorer of all time, Collins Injera. He loves the London Sevens, and the London Sevens love Collins Injera. Oliek from in front of the post, and Ben Kraus brings the first half to a close. Or you with a pass delivered into the hands of the flyer that is Collins Injera. Kenia lead Brazil at half-time by 19 points to 0.
Small things like defensively tunapanda juu tukiscan tukiongea kwa hii game tuwaketa yote kuingia kwa hii game tuendelee defensively tupande tukipress attack wise really sasa tuingize kwa pocket tunakam wengi tukiita play na pamoja mbili hapo saa tatu kwa hapo hivi tuga msa next so hapo tiga so tuingize kwa ingia kwa box tunaingia watu wanne kwa box so sisi mtu mmoja wa pili hapo tatu tunatoa.
Coach Kenya to the Rugby World Cup Sevens semi-final in Dubai in 2009. To Kenya's first ever World Series final in Adelaide the same year. And of course the first ever tournament win in Singapore last month.
Posesión como la primera posición fue perfecta, tranquilo, no podemos cerrar pases simples. ¿Está claro? Okay. Vamos, dale, vamos a pegar la bola ahora de inicio y vamos a empezar a pegar y vamos a ¿tá?
Só cuidando para a defesa quando sobe a pressão, não se desalinhar tanto. Eles estão entrando toda hora nos espaços, está difícil taclear. Estão mais juntos, né?
Yeah, keep talking, says Sami Oliek. Andres Romagnoli is the coach of Brazil, formerly, of course, a Sevens exponent himself and former captain of Argentina. That's Felipe Silva. Brazil's number 4, one of his favourite players, Johnny Wilkinson. Even copied his hairstyle. So Moises Duki's side have it all to do in this second period as he prepares to kick off.
And they're down to their last 7 players of Brazil. Been feisty and fighting for it, but Kenya will really want to get as much out of this as they can.
Yeah, Gustavo Albuquerque is the man replaced by Thiago Evaristo, but he could come back on again. He's walking around in the transition area, as we call it. Rolling subs allowed these days to cater for such eventualities as injuries. But very rarely do you see as many as 4 players injured, and the bench as depleted as Brazil is at the moment. And Kenya will come again through Willie Ambaka. 19-0, that's Kenya's advantage at the top of the second half. Injera offers himself in from the narrow side. Oliek into the hands here of Billy the Kid Odhiambo. Kenya, and here they come once more, this time through Nelson Oyo. First season on the Sevens circuits, he's got blistering pace. He just had to stroll in for that try.
Well, Billy Odhiambo it was who ended up scoring. He was given it away by Nelson Oyo. He'd done all the hard work. It was a pass inside from Odhiambo. I think he was rewarding his mate for all the hard work done for his try. And there it is, the flick inside. And there's Oyo. Look at that turn of pace. He just accelerates away from the flailing arms of the Brazilian defense, and then he flicks the ball away. Well, they do this just to frustrate the commentators, I think.
Well, I think they do, but Patrick Kayenga, yesterday we saw him hand on 2 passes, I think, to his brother Collins Injera.
Exactly.
And that is the interesting thing, isn't it? When you look at the statistics, Collins Injera and Humphrey Kayenge between them have scored some 400 tries for Kenya. We laud and compliment Collins Injera, of course, but special mention has to be given to Humphrey Kayenge.
Thanks, mate. Time back on.
That's a lovely restart from Kenya. The high hanging kick, and taken initially by Frank Wanyama. Kuhe through the hands to Sonseri. It's Daniel Sonseri. Kenya operating a sweeper is Augustine Lugonzo, just in case. A half break from Thiago Evaristo.
They've got men over here, Brazil.
Well, they've got pace on the left in the form of Andres Silva. Sonseri back to his brother Daniel. Now then, yes they can. Andres Silva, and that try has been greeted royally by the crowd here at Twickenham. They love the underdogs.
Absolutely lovely to have a try for Brazil. Kenya have been fantastic so far in this clash, but Andre Silva it was, looming on the inside. A nice flick inside. Look at the options they've created for themselves. That's a first inside pass, and then some nice footwork from Sonseri. That inside ball to Silva.
That's a confidence booster for Brazil. Well taken by Andre Silva, the man they know as a boy. Last appeared in London last season on the circuit, on debut before Paris last weekend.
Nice and competitive. That was good work on the ground there from Thiago Evaristo. Sonseri and Sonseri together, they've been feeding most of the inside passes, the half breaks, as we were mentioning. Silva finished that one off, but they'll want to contribute again. You see Daniel Sonseri in jersey number 1 just looming on the left wing. He's got over the advantage line well.
It'll be a proud
more of the field, Brazil.
Sure, it'll be a proud moment for the Brazilians when they take to the field at the Olympic Games in Rio in August. There'll be a lot of emotion on display, that's for sure. The land of Pele and Ronaldo. Penalty taken quickly. Lugonzo gets support from William Baka. Quickly through the hands, and there's almost a telepathic understanding between Robert Aringo and Sami Oliek, who's through for his second and takes Kenya out over the 30-point mark. Such a close-knit team, and Aringo getting his reward for that effort from Sami Oliek.
Yeah, look at the width. That's what we were talking about. They're able to take the inside gap because they've split or spread the Brazilian defense across most of the field. 4 or 5 meters in between each individual means one big step from an athlete like Aringo, and he's going to open up that defense.
Oliek, that's another 2 points.
There we go, the step and the fend. Isn't that a fantastic bit of running?
Good to go? Okay. Wait.
Handoff. Oliek's pace has been very apparent this tournament. They'll be really disappointed. They had 1 per game, Kenya, where they literally couldn't catch a thing, and they've been improving ever since.
Yeah, Sami Oliek, he says that he was bullied in the nicest way to take up rugby in school by his captain, and he and Aringo actually were schoolmates. They played in the same team. Aringo was his captain at St Mary's, but A wise decision from Sami Oliek.
Well, the world of rugby is better for it, I think. The athletes, this is where I'm talking about. So Brazil really need to spread on attack here.
Let's go.
Give themselves a chance to get a
Let's play
mismatch.
it.
That's how they scored their first try.
So let's see whether Brazil can sign off with a score here. And they will go home and regroup.
Start down.
Luckily, the ball bounces back into the hands of Gustavo Albuquerque, now back on the field as the siren goes. Then could be a man over here. Silva
Was that high?
sets it up.
It's for a roll.
But the third man in was over the top, and a chance perhaps for Kenya just to round it off here.
Well, they've got a 33-5 advantage. People would have totally understood it, they'd kicked it out, but Showman in the best manner, they want to score another try.
Yeah, they came close to defeating New Zealand in Paris last weekend, and they know it was their own mistakes that costed dearly for them. And here they came with loftier ambitions, but find themselves in the lowly Shield
On it.
competition, and this win will take them to the Shield final.
Giving the ball. On the ground, stopping it with your foot to come out while on the ground.
So one last chance. Olaba, the replacement. This again is Mbaka. Looking for a score himself, looking to round the last defender, Felipe Sonseri. Over he goes.
Well, it was a lovely effort from the big man. Sonseri was sprinting across, but Willie Mbaka it is, who had just too much pace and strength combined. And he's over in the corner. Look at that, the first step, the second, the third, and then the sprint towards the line. Sonseri's effort was valiant, but just not enough to stop the big man in the corner.
So Kenya having the final word, and it's been a long weekend already, but there's one more game to go for the Kenyans, and they've defeated Brazil here with a handsome scoreline, which remains at 38 points to 5. Then we have our first Shield finalist, and they are